So ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing in business, write this down, it is building, okay, strategic alliances. 70% of your time, as I said this morning, should be building and monetizing relationships. 70% of the time, okay? Because it takes one person, one deal, and one opportunity. Now, a lot of people don't know how, write this down, connect and monetize. Connect and, can't hear you, connect and, because if you just connect and then you have a meeting in South Africa, to have a meeting, to have another meeting, to then meet again about the relationship, and then once we meet again, then we will meet again to talk about what we discussed in all the other meetings, and then we have to go on holiday. And then we will come back and we have to recap the meeting. So it is very hard in South Africa. I have meetings to get things done. Okay, and I could tell you this. We just hired a bunch of people. Their job is to try to build new relationships all day long. I mean, that's really how I found Jenna Clifford. This is funny enough. I met another person, another person, another person. I'll give you another thing about relationship. George Ross, Donald Trump's right-hand man, ends up being my coach. He comes to my event. Introduces me to Gene Simmons from KISS. Gene Simmons from KISS introduces me to Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, who's my friend, who I brought to South Africa, who ends up saying I'm the closest thing to Steve Jobs. Then he introduces me to the CEO of Disney, Michael Eisner, spoke at my event. CEO of Disney introduces me to Arnold Schwarzenegger because Disney was doing a movie with him. Schwarzenegger introduces me to Stallone. Stallone ends up, we end up reaching out to Pacino and say, we have Stallone, and Pacino's people say, well, if you have Sylvester Stallone, then we're going to come. And then Stallone was friends with Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, who's a billionaire. He came to my event. And then the CEO of General Electric ends up being very good friends with John Travolta because they share the same plane. So then we have John Travolta. And because of John Travolta, we got Mark Wahlberg. And now, because Mark Wahlberg is doing a movie right now, The Expendable 4, with Wahlberg, Gibson, and Stallone, they're not all coming. Right? I come here, I know nothing. I meet this guy, Brian Walsh, some of you know from the entrepreneur.co.za. He introduces me to to Robert Gumede. Robert Gumede introduces me to Joanna Mukaki. Joanna Mukaki introduces me to Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril introduces me to Patrice Motsepe, right? Patrice Motsepe introduces me to a couple of very famous billionaires. That's just one line. You understand? Imagine I had not gone, if you go to Millionaire Underdog, you watch my life story. Imagine I hadn't gone to Trump Tower that day. Imagine I hadn't come to South Africa. What you're going to find out about success, everything is interconnected. Now, our next speaker is phenomenal at how to build A-plus teams. Because here's the problem. Too many of us build relationship. Some are A players, some are B player teams, some are C player teams, some don't go anywhere. Imagine you create a network of A-player relationships. And by the way, she's the only one who could do it in 5 minutes. That is correct. 5 minutes on how to build A-player teams. What I like about this event is that it's straight to the point, no bullshit. Give me the best you have. And when I said to her, I said, can you explain what you do in 5 minutes? She says, absolutely. And it was a challenge because it's funny. She goes, I could do it in a minute. Well, I'm like, I'll give you 5. So she came all the way to Australia, from Australia to here, to speak to you for 5 minutes because I asked her to. Is that pretty good? Now, most people, if I said to you, come to America and speak for 5 minutes, be like, it's too far. 5 minutes. But it doesn't matter because it takes 30 seconds either to get noticed or forgotten. And that's what she's really good. So please welcome all the way from Australia, Maggie. Give her a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maggie, and today I'm going to talk to you about my secret for being able to build a property empire back in Australia in a property market that is extremely hard to find opportunities. Now, when I was really, really young, as a little girl, this is probably an Asian sensation. I was obsessed with properties. there's just this thing about property that really, really hyped me up every day. And I had the dream that one day, instead of working full-time, I was going to use property as a tool to help me achieve financial freedom early, and then being able to carry that skill onwards to help many other entrepreneurs to do the same. Now, it took a long time for me to really be able to figure out a way to do that, but I have achieved that this year. Even in the market in Melbourne, when property market is extremely hot, I have actually been able to find property deals that's 10 to 20% below market value and being able to sell them at 10 to 20% above market value, all because of the fact that I have built an A+ team in the past few years. And with this A+ team, what it allowed me to do was to be able to turn the impossible into the possible. And what if I can share a couple of things with you today to help you build an A+ team in your life, in your business, faster than how much time it took me? Who would like to hear that? Yes, absolutely. All right. Now, let's begin by talking a little bit about how to choose your business network. Now, when I look at building a strategic network with people, there are three things I look at the most. Number one is passion, because passion a lot of times cannot be created. Now, when you work with passion, they lift your energy up. And when you work with people who do not have the passion, they drain your energy down. And it simply is not worth your time. Second is experience. When you start off in business, usually we start off with very limited experience. And therefore, if we do not align ourselves with people who are experienced, it's very hard to take ourselves up the stage as quickly as we can. And three is capability. Now, that person needs to be able to have a unique selling proposition in their business for you to partner with, to leverage off that, so that can help you to create a USP within your own business as well. And number four, those who share a common purpose and goal will have a longer business relationship with you than those who don't. Now, second thing I want to share is how to do business with people who seem to be out of your league. As I said before, when we start with business, it's usually not that easy to get to the top that quickly. But what I suggest is actually to treat them just the same as anyone else, because all people want in business when it comes to networking is they just want to know that you care. And all they want to do is they want to know that you like them. Because people who like each other, like each other. What I do when I go out to business networking is I always come up with something I'm genuinely impressed about that person. And I will come up to them and tell them, shake their hand, and I go, I really, really love the way that you dressed today, or I really, really love what you presented today on stage. Can you show me, a little bit about your business? Second, be vulnerable about yourself. Business is not an ego game. It's not about being out there and being the biggest, the strongest muscle in the gym. It's not about being the alpha male or alpha female out there. It's about being true to yourself and being genuine and being vulnerable. Number three, inspire them with your vision. When I started in property, when I went out to network, I was very, very straight with my network. I said to them, I want to create the opportunity to help anybody to achieve financial freedom with property. Doesn't matter at what stage of their financial situation they are. And that's how I was able to onboard so many people so quickly within a short amount of time, even though I didn't have the experience or the expertise to be at the same level as them. And number four, if it's not a win-win, don't do it. Lastly, gratitude has a price tag. And I know that doesn't matter how long you are in business, it is so important that you hold the gratitude towards the people who help you get there to start with. Because the moment you lose it, you potentially will lose your whole network. And lastly, I just want to say, how do you make opportunity come to you first? Now, my secret to having opportunities come to me first before anybody else in my network is to be, first of all, on stage, be a speaker. Secondly, to make my network feel special, whether it's buying them movie tickets, buying them children some gifts for Christmas, buying their pets something special, taking their children on a holiday, or something that I know about them that is going to mean something more to them than it means for me to be able to give it to them. And lastly, create more win-win than your competition, because when you do, you're going to be the one that people want to give opportunity to the most. You're going to be the one that people want you to succeed the most in your business. Thank you very much for listening to my sharing, and I look forward to networking with you afterwards.